Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's new Model Y configuration, the EV tax credit changing for the Model 3, tons of new Cybertruck features and more, so let's get into it. First up today, full self-driving and the AI technology behind it are very central to Tesla's plans for their future. Powering their exponential growth in AI computations are a series of dedicated supercomputers that combine cutting-edge NVIDIA technology with Tesla's own proprietary Dojo chips. While these computers are brand new and pack some serious power, Tesla is constantly working to improve them even further. According to their partner, the Taiwanese Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, also known as TSMC, they are already producing the next generation of Dojo AI training tiles. This technology is reportedly allowing them to produce larger and denser silicon chips that could exponentially increase their available computing power. They say that, quote, in 2027, the foundry plans to offer technology for more complex wafer-scale systems than Tesla's that could deliver 40 times as much computing power as today's systems. The AI technology that powers the development of Tesla's full self-driving software, and by extension their Optimus robot, requires computing power at increasingly larger scales. This next generation of chips is likely to be deployed at Tesla's upcoming $500 million Dojo supercomputer cluster in New York. We could also see them shift things to Giga Texas if they're going all in on the robotaxi. Keeping up with the rapidly advancing AI tech race is going to be a huge task, and it's great to see that Tesla is investing so heavily into making sure that they can stay ahead. All of Tesla's upcoming products, both in robotics and their upcoming robotaxi, will rely heavily on the systems that they are building now, so seeing these crazy leaps in power means that we are going to see these advancements come even sooner. I can't wait to see where all of this leads and what kind of technological leaps we'll see come from them in the not-so-distant future. Next up today, the EV tax credit in the United States is typically a program that is exciting for many buyers. It can help lower the price of buying an EV by up to $7,500 if you qualify, and if the car qualifies. Right now in the US, the Model Y, Tesla's most popular car, qualifies for this credit regardless of what trim you buy. But the problem for many automakers with this credit is how strict it is. The list of qualifying vehicles is actually a lot smaller than you may imagine. And with battery sourcing rules getting stricter each year, it creates a bit of a situation where we're incentivizing automakers to produce batteries in the US, but they actually can't scale battery production fast enough to keep up with the changing rules. This is illustrated very clearly with Tesla's Model 3. That car should absolutely qualify for an EV tax credit, but it doesn't because the standard range and long range trims source their batteries in such a way to disqualify them under the current rules. Tesla would surely love to change this, as it would drive many more sales of this car, but they simply cannot do so. There isn't enough supply and supply chain coming from qualifying US sources. As such, we're now seeing the first signs of a pretty big change to this tax credit and its rules. Quote, the US Treasury Department on Friday gave automakers additional flexibility on battery mineral requirements for electric vehicle tax credits on some crucial trace minerals from China, such as graphite. The department said it would give automakers until 2027 to remove some hard-to-trace minerals, like graphite contained in anode materials and critical minerals contained in electrolytes, salts, binders, and additives. John Bozzella, head of the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, said that these new rules, quote, appear to recognize the realities of the global supply chain by providing some temporary flexibility in terms of where the critical minerals in EV batteries can be sourced. Others, like Joe Manchin, argue that this provides a long-term pathway for foreign entities of concern to remain in our supply chains. China currently accounts for 70% of the global output of graphite used in battery anodes, so now, quote, manufacturers may temporarily exclude certain impracticable to trace battery materials from FEOC compliance until 2027, as long as they demonstrate how they plan to comply by then. Overall, this news should allow for more cars to qualify for this credit, leading to further EV growth. It could help many different cars qualify, but on Tesla's side of things, it very well could help with a certain amount of Model 3s. According to Troy Teslike, a Tesla analyst who actively traces Tesla's battery sourcing, quote, this could potentially enable the tax credit for $8,000 per quarter Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, which use LG's 2170 cells imported from South Korea that contain some materials from China. I don't think it will make a difference for Model 3 standard range rear-wheel drive that uses CATL's LFP cells imported from China. That is unfortunate to hear about the standard range rear-wheel drive Model 3, but it should help make it a bit less awkward choosing between long range and performance. If you qualify for the tax credit today, you'd be able to get a performance Model 3 for $46,490, whereas the quote cheaper long range trim would come in higher at $47,740. With these changes, that price may drop down to $40,240 $40 for qualifying buyers. Then we may have to see Tesla follow suit to resource the rear-wheel drive Model 3's battery if they are able to do so. Getting all of these cars to qualify is surely a priority, but it takes time, which is why we're seeing these rules changing. As always, these things are in flux, so it really can lead one of two ways: buy now or wait to buy. For a car like the Model Y, it qualifies fully today, and who knows if something will disqualify it come 2025, even as the rumored Juniper Model Y comes to market. Then you may want to wait to buy for something like a Model 3 because soon the long range may qualify thanks to these new rule changes. It always makes it tough to time, so I'll do my best to keep you posted with the latest pricing changes and tax credit changes. Next up today, a quick update about the Model Y. The Model Y is a car that has largely remained unchanged since its launch. There have been definite notable upgrades to things like the internal computer and refresh rate on screen, but at a glance it's the same car. Recently, Tesla has been trying to change that a bit. They replaced their red color with Ultra Red and replaced their gray color with Stealth Gray. That new Stealth Gray, in fact, has become the base color, so every base Model Y is now coming with a color that previous years didn't have. At the very least, that's nice to add some variety to the road, but still these colors aren't all that different from previous years. We had seen Tesla launch Quicksilver out of Giga Berlin, and then Shanghai, and now this color is officially available to order in the US. It is coming out of Tesla's Giga Texas factory, and we first saw this pop up with Model Ys in inventory. Now it is fully available for purchase when custom ordering a Model Y. When configuring either a long-range or performance Model Y, there are now 6 paint options available in the US: Stealth Gray, White, Blue, Black, Red, and Quicksilver. Ultra Red and Quicksilver now share the same upgrade price at $2,000. I believe this lowered the price of Black down to $1,500 in the process. Overall, this may lead to a bit more sales in the US for the Model Y for customers who have just wanted to see something different before buying, but I think for those waiting to buy with new features, they'll probably keep waiting. Regardless, it's exciting to see this color come to the US since it's one of the Model Y's biggest markets, and it's something to change up the look of these cars on the road. This is the first new color in a while that actually looks entirely different. Next up today, the latest for the Cybertruck, including things they're finally fixing and some brand new features. So far, the Cybertruck has only been released in the US, but Tesla has been taking it on tour all around the world. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, you'll get a chance to see it in Sydney until May 5th, Chatsworth from May 6th to the 12th, Parramatta from May 13th to 19th, and Miranda from the 20th to the 26th. Tesla is showing this truck off to customers, but test drives, of course, aren't available. On the first day of the tour, a Cybertruck was spotted in Sydney. We can't quite tell from this pixelated photo, but it looks like the driver is sitting on the left side of the vehicle. Interestingly there, this could be something Tesla could shift fairly easily to the right side, easier than other vehicles since it's entirely steer-by-wire. Tesla has also released a new product for the Cybertruck, a detailing kit. If you're a verified Tesla owner, you can obtain this kit on their website for $130. You have to verify your account before you can order it. It includes 4 microfiber towels, 4 different cyber-specific cleaning solutions, and a carrying case. The interior detailer is for hard interior surfaces, including the dashboard, center console, door panels, steering wheel, and interior trim. The glass cleaner is, of course, for the windshield, windows, mirrors, and roof. The waterless wash is for the exterior, quote, particularly in cold weather, developed for quick spot cleaning, light dust, and dirt removal and touch-ups. And then the stainless wash is meant to, quote, protect the exterior stainless steel surfaces by repelling oil, soil, soap scum, fingerprints, UV rays, and hard water. There has been a lot of talk about how easily this stainless steel exterior holds onto fingerprints, so this may give owners some peace of mind. As for production, Cybertrucks seem to be going in and out of piling up outside of Giga Texas. Tesla did briefly have to stop deliveries of this truck due to a faulty accelerator pedal cover, but deliveries resumed fairly quickly. From this flyover, it doesn't look like this brief setback has had any impact on production, though. In fact, Tesla may just be surpassing their main truck competitors already, Rivian and Ford. In their Q1 financial report, Tesla announced they had reached an output of 1,000 Cybertrucks in a single week in April. If they manage to keep up that pace, that's over 50,000 Cybertrucks per year. That number is higher than Rivian's production of the R1T and could also be higher than Ford's production of F-150 Lightning. In Q4 of last year, Rivian delivered 13,588 vehicles in total, combining data for the R1S and R1T. In the same quarter, Ford sold 11,905 Lightnings. In Q1 of this year, though, that went down to 7,743 Lightnings. If Tesla maintains 1,000 Cybertrucks per week, that's around 13,000 units per quarter. Assuming they still have over 1 million pre-orders for this truck, that could equate to 13,000 sales in Q2, or maybe further into Q3. We do have to keep in mind that Ford temporarily paused production, so that definitely impacted their Q1 numbers. But even before this pause, they had not made it to 13,000. It's possible Ford could start ramping up production of the Lightning again, but that doesn't sound like a priority for CEO Jim Farley. Based on the production equipment Tesla already has in place, some estimate they have the capacity for 125,000 Cybertrucks per year. That's over twice that 13,000 per quarter figure. Just because they have the capacity for it, though, doesn't necessarily mean that they will reach that goal this year, but it's something they're definitely working towards. As part of a larger update, the Cybertruck is getting a small improvement that can finally put an ongoing issue to rest. We've talked extensively on this channel about the safety of this truck's automatic frunk and its potential to accidentally cause damage if it came down on someone's hand. Well, now Tesla has just rolled out greatly increased sensitivity on the frunk's sensors to prevent it from causing any damage. Even on soft objects like a banana, shown here, the frunk will sense an obstruction and gently bounce off without doing any harm. This is the benefit of Tesla's software approach in that it allows them to take in criticism and quickly roll out fixes to problems that their vehicles may have. Definitely good to see Tesla fixing this, especially since the stainless steel is so sharp on the edges. Last up for the Cybertruck, Tesla has just unveiled a ton of new off-roading features, including Cyber Tent Mode and more. Tesla released the first big software update for the Cybertruck in February, improving handling and charging, among other things. Now they've announced the next update, already arriving on first-wave vehicles, introducing off-road mode. Drivers will have two options here. Overland mode will bring, quote, more consistent handling and better overall traction while driving on rock, gravel, deep snow, or sand. Then with Baja mode, vehicle balance is improved, and the vehicle handles more freely when stability assist is set to minimal. Overland mode will also offer a ton of different presets like rock, gravel, deep snow, sand, and all-purpose so you can effectively traverse any climate. Next, they're adding locking differentials, a feature that has been highly requested by off-roaders. For the dual-motor all-wheel drive trim, quote, on uneven or slippery terrain, if a wheel has limited or no traction, Cybertruck can direct that torque to the opposite wheel. You can choose to turn that on just in the rear or for all wheels. They also mention you can adjust this feature in the off-road app. For the Cybertruck Tri-Motor, quote, go to off-road mode, overland, to enable locking differential feature. Cyber Beast Tri-Motor has a virtual rear locked differential, which is always working in overland mode. They've also tacked on a trail assist feature. Quote, it's like cruise control but for off-roading. Trail assist helps maintain a set cruising speed so you can focus on steering. Trail assist works as both a hill ascent and descent control, helping to keep the wheels from slipping. For when you're back on the road, slippery surface mode will create better traction control on snowy, icy, wet, or slick roads by distributing traction evenly across all tires. They note that should only be used temporarily. For ride handling with a load, adaptive suspension now estimates payload more accurately and automatically adjusts damping to deliver a more accurate ride and more consistent, confident handling. Lastly, Cyber Tent Mode levels the suspension so you can sleep comfortably on a flat surface in your Cyber tent while ensuring the tonneau cover remains open. Lights, AC, and outlets will also stay on when enabled. All of these features are going to make this truck a much more enticing adventure vehicle, so I'm excited to see some new off-roading reviews with these new features. Top Gear already did one with exclusive access from Tesla and agreed that this is a very capable off-roading vehicle. But for those new Cybertruck owners who are less experienced in off-roading, Tesla has just published a short but detailed guide to help you get going on your off-road adventures. It will offer tons of practical advice on how to use the features built into the Cybertruck so those customers who bought this truck as their first off-roading vehicle will be better equipped for whatever nature throws at them. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Hyundai's luxury vehicle brand Genesis has just unveiled a new electric vehicle that is aiming to directly take on the Model S Plaid. At the Beijing Auto Show, they have given us our first look at their refreshed G80 EV and its new Magma performance variant. This new electric G80 builds upon its predecessor while offering a sportier design and enhanced performance. The Magma variant will offer a newly designed grille, fenders, and bumper, as well as being physically lowered for tighter handling. This new version will also feature new performance wheels, improved suspension, and a new ventilation system. We don't have any word yet on exactly how much this new vehicle will cost or what its specs will be, but it's undoubtedly aiming for the same market as the Model S. The current electric G80 starts at about $74,000, so we can expect that this updated version will come in at a similar price and that the performance trim will probably put it near a Model S Plaid. We'll have to wait and see just how this car shapes up by comparison, but it could prove to be a compelling option in the growing luxury EV category. After officially gaining access to the supercharger network last month, Rivian has just started sending out their official NACS adapter to all existing customers. Currently, all non-Tesla EVs require a special NACS adapter to plug in at a supercharger. There are companies that make third-party adapters, but some automakers have been designing their own adapters for their customers. Ford started sending out their adapters back in February, and we've been waiting for other companies to follow suit. Well, Rivian has just started contacting customers for their shipping information to receive their complimentary NACS adapters. This email appears to be going out to low VIN owners soon, and more recent customers should still be getting theirs soon. Customers have 60 days after receipt to respond to this email in order to get a free adapter. In order to be eligible, you will also need to have responded to an email Rivian sent out last month to opt into the program. It's really exciting to see Rivian gain access to the supercharger network and to see how hard they are working to make the experience as seamless as possible for their customers. I sold my R1T a few months ago, but it was a great vehicle, and now that they can easily access the supercharger network, that makes these cars even more compelling. Kia showed off their EV5 SUV late last year, and as that car continues to roll out around the world, we are getting our first look at its upcoming performance trim. The EV5 is Kia's electric compact SUV, which takes design cues from the larger EV9, but condenses it into a smaller package. It was designed to comfortably transport the whole family, packing in interior features like dual 12-inch screens and their next-gen connected cockpit. Its base trim has up to 329 miles of CLTC range, and they offer a long-range version that jumps that up to 447 miles, again CLTC. This car is currently available in select markets such as China and Australia, and we've just gotten our first look at its upcoming GT trim. The exterior differences are subtle, such as an added black trim around the front bumper, but the real differences come under the hood. The GT trim will feature a dual motor system that will output 313 horsepower and should have a 0 to 60 under 6.5 seconds. All of Kia's new EVs, including the EV2, EV3, and EV4, should be getting GT trims soon as well. Speaking of the EV2, we've just gotten our first video of this upcoming vehicle in the wild. It's a very short clip, and the vehicle is largely covered up, but we can see how its boxy design fits into the broader Kia EV lineup. That car is expected to start around $15,000, but it's currently unclear whether this car will ever make it to the US. A ton of brands are starting to work on building truly affordable EVs, and Kia is definitely leading the bunch. Hopefully Kia is able to bring these cars to the US, as they seem to be very capable electric options that come in at an extremely competitive price. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest for Tesla's supercharger team layoffs, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.